Hi, this is Trisha again with I Hear Angels, and today we're going to discuss a World War II pilot who ended up getting a bit stuck. He was, when we found him, in a gray shell of a bomber, World War II bomber. Everything was gray. He was sitting on a bench, a metal bench. He was leaning forward smoking a cigarette. And we asked him, "Why are you here?" And he said, "I saw so many men die, and I lived. I got to go home." And we could tell that he felt guilty about this because he saw so many of his other friends die. It's just classic PTSD. And he said, I was a worse husband than you can imagine, and an even worse father." And it's true. We heard from his son that yes, he did start fights at work, that he was difficult for his wife to sleep with, in that in the middle of the night he'd say, we've got to bail out, and would grab her and drag her to the floor because he was reliving a war incident in which he thought that that's what he should do. So we told him that he was not a bad guy and that he should allow himself to move on if we would help him. And he said yes. And this is an important lesson for all of us, to just stop for a second. Our perceptions of where we ought to go after we die is pretty much where we do go. If we think we're going to get a field full of flowers, we'll get a field full of flowers. If we think that we're going to get a little log cabin on a lake, that's probably where we'll go. But if you think that you deserve nothing, or you're an atheist and you deserve to just poof out of existence, that could be your fate. All I know is what I've been told by the dead. I can't tell you this for sure, but it's just what I've learned from them. So my spirit guide friend, who is so wonderful, gives me chills thinking of him. He took him by the arm, and instead of a long tunnel, it seemed like there was just a poof, and he was presented with all these other guys, and I could see them in flight jackets that he had presumed were gone forever, and they were in what we would call heaven, and they were glad to see him, and it was like a big reunion, and it was extremely heart-wrenching and beautiful to see. And the last thing that he did was he turned around and waved at us and was kind of swept off with a whole cadre of friends. That's all for today. Remember, I'm Trisha Mahi with ihearangels.com, and I do answer my emails. Thank you. Goodbye.